Vanakkam, Namaste, Jai Hind. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Bharadwaj and I've been a tech enthusiast since 2007. Slightly even before that, I used to go around and collect all these pamphlets from places where they sell Nokia phones. I used to recommend phones when I was studying 10th standard. But obviously, I didn't know that much. But once I was in college, I started to understand a little bit more and I was able to express more and started a blog and express my thoughts on various things. But these days in 2025, to express my thoughts on anything, this is the medium, which is YouTube, and this is the blogging of this generation. So I've been doing that as a job for a long time before, but now it's more of like still part of my identity, but it's only part of my identity. So it's going to be one of the several videos that I make on this channel, but definitely there's going to be things about technology. So let's begin. Today's video is about the Sony Xperia 1 Mark 7, as you have seen in the title. My thoughts on this. I have been a user of the Xperia Mark 1 or the Xperia 1 Mark 1. That's what we got Mark 7 of right now. So there are 7 generations of Xperia 1. I am a user of the first generation of the Xperia 1, which was fantastic. In fact, the display resolution was better than the Mark 7. And it had a wider cinematic aspect ratio. But many other things have changed. So what has changed in Xperia 1 Mark 7 and how different is it from Xperia 1 Mark 6? Not much different actually. This time they have concentrated on 3 things, which is display, camera and audio. Display is Bravia, camera is Alpha, audio is Sony Walkman. So for the first time we are seeing this Walkman branding and the Walkman team working with the other teams to produce this phone. So how is Sony positioning this smartphone? First of all, it's not available in India. So it's primarily a smartphone that is aimed at the American market and other global markets where Sony is sold. It's the Chinese who are dominating, but they are all using Sony's camera sensors. So Sony is just displaying its technological prowess with this phone rather than wanting to sell it. So that's the category that we are putting it in. It's a showcase. It's a showpiece. That's what Sony Xperia 1 series has unfortunately become. I was a big fan of the series in the beginning, and I was really happy to see the evolution that it got, because the Xperia Mark 1, the 1 Mark 1, did not have a 3.5mm audio jack. The Mark 7 has, because from Mark 2 they started, if I'm not wrong, Mark 2 or Mark 3, they have started adding the 3.5mm jack again, because they know this is for pro consumers, people who like to have more control, people like artists who like to have a particular kind of display, particular kind of sound, particular kind of camera. Not the best. Let's be clear about that. It's Sony. There is no best or worst. This is Sony. They have Zeiss lens for the camera and alpha technology applied. So it's going to be very comfortable for people who are used to alpha cameras, people who are used to Bravia TVs, people who are used to Sony Walkmans. So this is basically a fan service phone. That's why I'm talking about it. I'm a fan of Sony, but unfortunately I'm not in a position to get the Sony Xperia 1 Mark 7, because if I want to get it, I have to import it, which is sad. But I can get the Sony Xperia 1 Mark 4 in the used market. That's how I got the Sony Xperia 1 Mark 1 as well. But because they are Japanese, they don't work in the Geo network here. So that's one thing. You can only use Airtel and VI or BSNL. If you have those networks, then you will get, but only 4G and without VoLTE. So these are the problems that I was facing. Some models were able to work, some models were not, so I just stopped looking for these phones again. So Xperia 1 Mark 1 was a fantastic experience, especially when it comes to the display and the camera. It's a fantastic experience. And to see the same continuing in the Mark 7 is good, but I think I will restrict that only to the camera segment, because the display has gotten a lot of downgrades. It's not a 4K display anymore, it's just 1080p. So this is the Xperia 1 Mark 7 official page. This is the UK Sony smartphone page. You can see the price here. It's massive. It's too costly. It's beyond what any normal human being would want to achieve. I mean, seriously, I don't want to spend this much on a phone. Unless, of course, it's an amazing camera that is class leading, or I am a big Sony fan who refuses to buy anything other than Sony, because it's powered by Walkman, it's powered by Bravia, it's powered by Alpha. So that's the major sell here. These are the things that you can expect. People who already own Sony Bravia TVs, Sony Walkman and Sony Alpha cameras, they will be the default consumers. They're all probably using the iPhone, but they'll be the default consumers of this smartphone if they are okay with Android and not using the phone much. Yeah, so let's get into the features. No, when it comes to the design, it's pretty normal. I mean, they have gone for a 19.5:9 instead of a 21:9, so it's a wider and more like I think this looks more like a S25 Ultra. You know, the key thing here is the beautiful lines on the side, and there is a matte finish to the back, nice colors, and there is a bigger camera button. So the camera button has more travel and it's bigger, and it's 2-step. So camera button always been there in Xperia phones. 3.5mm jack already been there, and of course you have an extendable micro SD card slot. Isn't that amazing? So all that is good, but I don't want to pay that much for the phone, man, really. So let's go to the camera segment. The camera is obviously powered by the Alpha technology. This time they have a lot of extra features, that auto framing and keeping the person in the zoom, in portrait, stuff like that they have done with the so-called AI. So they have done some AI things, but mainly there is a new ultra wide, and there is also a new primary sensor. They are not that big, okay? They are not that big, but they are bigger than before. So obviously you have a stacked XMOR RS sensor, which is one of the best in low light. Not the same as the Huawei ones though. Don't take me there. This is the conventional style low light. You increase the ISO and you still get grains, but you still get a decent photo. Not the magical low light stuff. No. This is normal low light stuff. It's good. I mean, up to ISO 8000 you'll be good like that. It's not the Alpha 7S level low light. It's not got that big wide pixels. Still, I will go into the specifics of it. So the camera, new ultra wide and ultra HDR, these things are already there. The portrait, they have shown really well lit photos, high autofocus, and there is telemacro. So that's one thing that I love, man. So 4 centimeter, that's the level of focus you can go with the telemacro of the telephoto lens, which is a very small sensor, and the aperture will also be high, but you're getting really close focus distance, which means even the portraits will look really good with the telemacro, the telephoto camera. And the telephoto camera is also amazing. I'll talk about that more. So all that is given here. You can see 24 and 48, which is just 48 megapixel crop, right? And there is a 16mm ultra wide, which has a new larger sensor, We'll go into the specifics. And 85 to 170 millimeters. So you can change the telephoto still. That's one of the magical things that you find only in the Sony Xperia 1 Mark 7. It started from Xperia 1 Mark 5, if I'm not wrong. 4 had like a two-step thing, and then between the smooth 85 to 170 smooth zooming has been possible from Mark 5, if I'm not wrong. I have not been able to use those phones yet. That's really sad, because at least Xperia Pro with its 1-inch sensor could have been launched here, but nothing has been launched here in India. Sony is dead in India, so don't ask me why. It's just how it is, for now at least. Okay, so you've got alpha technology, which means that you've got this beautiful camera interface in your pocket, which is very similar to the alpha camera technology. So you'll have a lot of creative looks and blah 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 blah, cinematic mode video as well. Okay, 21:9. All that, if you're a Sony fan, you would already know. Okay, the next we are going to see is audio. Audio is fantastic, man. Walkman DNA is there. They have gold tipped 3.5mm jack innards now. So if you put your 3.5mm jack in there, it connects to gold. How awesome is that? Gold, of course, gold is literally the gold standard in audio, is having gold tipped electrodes conducting this electricity, so that analog sound, you have analog sound. 3.5mm jack, you have analog sound. So it's going to give you as much as possible, they will try to give you the authentic sound signature. That's the goal here. High quality components. You have wired headphones, and there's also this called DC Ultimate. I don't know what it is, but basically it will be like a special sound enhancer, equalizer, something like that. I've never used it. And basically high-res audio is supported as usual. LDAC is supported. 360 reality audio, Dolby audio, everything is supported. Full stage stereo speakers. Yes. Full stage stereo speakers. That is fantastic. Full stage. I mean, to be able to listen to it in person would be good, but I'm happy that they've. I think they already had it, but I'm emphasizing it again. It's very important. That's why the bezels are there. Let the bezels be there, man. Give us amazing speakers. Have you seen the HTC One? Both sides you will have at least the grill. If not for the speakers, there were models with both side speakers also. Okay, and they sounded fantastic. You will have clear stereo separation, which is good, which is amazing. I mean, even the N900 had dual stereo speakers. I mean, okay. Humble brag from the old Nokia days. So stereo speakers, fantastic, and all the artists will love it, man. That's what they say. That's what I also say, because I love Sony. Let's be clear about that. I want products like these Sony products made in India. That's my technological vision. I want amazing technological products which are health conscious to be made in India. And we need to sell these health conscious products to the world, because what we have currently been getting from other places is kind of unhealthy products. I mean, I wouldn't say Japan is selling unhealthy products, but you can't avoid the technological solutions much these days. So they come with strings attached, which causes unhealthiness in us, not only because of its physical manifestations, but because of the mental manifestations as well, like through doom scrolling in social media. So if you're watching this video and if you have a plan to make gadgets, design products, technological solutions that you want to sell to others, then follow this channel and follow my curations of technological points of views, so that you can be well informed and also be inspired to do something new. I hope to do that. So the display is Bravia on the Xperia 1 Mark 7. They say it's amazing, but the resolution is not that great. The resolution is not the same as before. I have told you already, they have changed the aspect ratio, they have reduced the resolution. Even with the 4K, the battery life was amazing. Sony phone's battery life is always amazing. I don't know what these Japanese people do. Even the Bermuda phone, the battery life should be so bad. Such a small phone, such a small battery, it should be so bad, but it's actually quite good because the Japanese have optimized it. Similarly, Sony is also very, very well optimized, and that is why you will get 2 days of battery life. And you get 8 Elite, the latest one, the 5000 mAh battery, and you get 8 Elite performance. Wireless charging is there. Snapdragon 8 Elite. What do you think about that? Snapdragon 8 Elite means you got the Spectra ISP as well. The Spectra ISP is very, very important for the camera, and also you got the Wi-Fi 7 and 5G, 4G, all that bang and jizzles and whistles and everything. So I don't really care about all those things because anyway we are not gonna get all that. And this AI, a very interesting take on AI actually. These people have actually tried to use AI. Okay, they are not going for gimmicks. They are doing display upscaling. Okay, but they could have had a 4K display to upscale. So sad. So what's the use of AI to upscale to 1080p, man? If your display is capped at 1080p, what's the point? So anyway, this lower resolution display will have upscaling. And this DC Ultimate, what I really like about AI in the camera thing is they have embedded the post estimation. Can you see that this is the post estimation thing? This post estimation is actually, it's a really tough job. If they are doing it on device, then that's fantastic, man. Sony, hats off. If you're able to do something with that, then it'll be good. What do I do with the post estimation? Can I use that data elsewhere? What about rendering my pose to other 3D characters? Can I do that on the phone? I don't think so. Can I do that? Is there any app to do that? I don't think so, man. Of course, they are showcasing the Google Gemini app and the Gemini app features and blah blah blah. Environment and accessibility. Screw all these things. We'll go to the specifications. Specification, as you can see, the price in various countries is given, and the dimensions are also given. Is not so thick. It's 8.2 millimeters, which is amazing. Weight is also good. The display size, as you can see, is 6.5 inch. 19.5:9. Sad emoji. The display resolution 1080p. Sad emoji. But otherwise, the features are good. It's a 120 Hz refresh rate, and then there's a creator mode, so you get like super color accurate display. And what else do I show? The rear camera. The rear camera, you can see the rear camera 1. Okay, this is 52 MP. That's the full resolution, but you get 48 MP. Is 1 by 1.35 inch. It's not 1 inch. It's not really close to. It's probably the same as the iPhone, if I'm not wrong. But the sensor is awesome. It's Exmor T. If I said Exmor RS, kindly forgive me. I've been living in the old era. It's Exmor T for mobile. And you get f1.9 aperture. Okay, f1.9 aperture is okay. I mean, people are going for f1.4 anyway. Then there is a second camera, which is the telephoto camera. This is Exmor RS. This is the older sensor, but it's 1 by 3.5. It's very small, and you got a resolution of only 12 MP for the telephoto. But the aperture changes 2.3 to 3.5. Why? Because it travels from 85 to 170. So the aperture has to change, and the field of view is 28 to 15 degree. That's the field of view. So pretty narrow field of view. If you take the original camera, the main camera, it's 84 degrees field of view. So that's like this much. So if you reduce that, you get telephoto. Okay. And the ultra-wide camera 16mm and 104 degrees, right? And you got a 1x1.56. So that's a very large ultra-wide sensor. And this is also Xmor RS. So I've been right, 2 Xmor RS and 1 Xmor T. So Xmor T is possibly, no, of course the latest. Okay. This is also a 50MP camera. And f2.0 aperture, which is good. You get all the other features as well. The front camera is also 12MP 1x2.9 inch Xmor RS. So 3 Xmor RS sensors, and you got amazing audio, gaming and all other features as well, right? It's nothing much. So USB PD fast charging is there. That's important. So now I have to tell you why I did this video. Now this phone is not going to be sold in India, and nobody cares about this phone really, but I care about this phone. You know why? I want the quality of this phone and the innovations that this phone offers to be highlighted to our people meaning the people of Bharat, the people of India, that is Bharat. Why? Now is the time for us to show the world that we can also build amazing products like these. Sony is an amazing company. Where is India's Sony? That is the main reason why I wanted to make this video, because anyway you cannot buy this phone, and I'm not gonna use this phone. I'm just gonna be drooling over the 85 to 150 telephoto lens with the changing aperture and whatnot. It's an amazing thing. It's got tele macro at 4 centimeters. I would love to use it, but I cannot buy it. I am in India, and so are you. So it's a ridiculous thing to be talking about. But if you're also a Sony fan like me, then you can share your comments, and I will see you in the next video where I'll talk about something else entirely, because it's my YouTube channel. I can do anything I want. Goodbye.